All right, guys and girls. I'm still willy sick. I'm still fighting the good fight, but I decided to watch all of the amazing digital circus cuz I felt like it. I kept seeing memes about it. I was like, "Fuck it. I'm sick. I'm not doing anything. Might as well watch it." And after hearing and seeing a lot of memes about these characters, and after watching it myself, I've decided to make a tier list for these characters. I'm gonna be doing the main characters last. Um, and yeah, that's it. I'm gonna start off with the side characters. Is this that's not Abel? That's Ming, assuming. Uh, I'm gonna start off with C. Ming, kind of a B tier joke, really, or C tier. Sorry, C tier joke. It got tiring real fast. It was good the first time, and then when he came back, what was it, like one or two more times? It was, it was already tired. Did not need to see more of him. What is this? What is this guy? Is this a centipede that claps in the stands? A tier. Really just love the effort. Love that the energy he was bringing to the softball game. That was pretty fire. This little what are the Sonic characters, like the little teardrop shaped guys, the something. He looks like one of those. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I cannot remember ever seeing that character. So we're gonna new data set. Can't can't not memorable. Not memorable. That guy goes there. He's not memorable at all. F. What color do we want to make F? Make F like purple. All right. So not memorable. We have evil Zubul. Evil Zubul. Gonna be honest. Evil Zubo pitched for the evil team. Was kind of like the Kinger of the group, but obviously doesn't have Kinger's split personality. B tier. B tier for Bud pitcher. Bud pitcher. Uh, Warp Orb man. I was I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of Orb man. I couldn't understand him. I could tell that there were real words being said, but it was so distorted. It was like, who knows? Not gonna spend the time trying to figure that out. Uh, this looks like. Oh, is this Disappearing Man? Disappearing Man. You know what? Disappearing Man, always a good bit. Always a good bit just to see him walk in and go, ah, oh. This frog creature thing. I don't remember if they gave us anything to make us think they had any personality that we could discern. So, F tier only because there's nothing to go off of. There's nothing to know about him. Blue Orb Man? Not memorable. I don't remember Blue Orb Man. Did they make a separate character for Gangle with the plastic mask? Um, who doesn't love a manic depressive queen? I gotta put, pouring out for the BPD queens out there and all that. Really, really, really put all the other characters in their place. You know what I'm saying? Got a B plus. Actually, you know what? New role. New role. New role. This one is going to be B plus. The same score Gangle got for the terrific adventuring job. The would it be cannibal? Because they're all candy, even though they're different creatures. I'm gonna give it C for cannibal. The chocolate river boy. I think C for cannibal really is the go to play here. Abel Abel did their job and did it well. So you know, A tier, high end of A tier, almost S tier. Like, we only got one episode with Abel, but they they came here and did what they came to do, and then they got deleted. Damn, I gotta blow my nose. Uh, bath bath mannequin and another mannequin, not memorable enough, I suppose. Purple mannequin, again, not that memorable, I guess. You know, the clown really just also, I mean, I know he abstracted, kind of a dickhead for that, to be honest. Isn't this just his abstracted form? Or is this just abstracts in general? Uh Abstracts, kind of cool. Kind of cool. They're a good they're a good mover. They're a good motive for the main characters. They they push the story along. It's an anvil it's a guillotine hanging over the characters' heads. Like, you know, we got to keep high spirits, or possibly, we're gonna get fucked up. We're gonna get abstracted. We're gonna lose ourselves, and who the heck knows what happens to us when we're abstracted. A tier, A tier. Ghost lady, pretty solid. She was nice. She was gave some good warnings way too late to our main characters, to our adventurers. Kinger's wife, maybe, definitely, maybe. We didn't get much of her, but we got more of her than we did the frog and the clown. I'm gonna put her C tier, clown D tier, because I feel like we got more of her. She was a little nice. Her and Kinger knew each other somehow, some way. And she is a driving force for why Kinger is the way he is. And for that same reasoning, Clown goes up there because Clown is also a driving force for why one of the driving forces for why the rabbit is the way he is. Why Jax? There we go. Okay, Candy Princess. She's a quest giver. She's British, and for that she's gonna go into the C tier because you know fuck the monarchy or something like that. Purple alligator with arms that are too small. He had some nice bits. Uh, Honestly, long arms kind of stole short arms bit. Kind of fucked up. The Nibbits, something like that. The creatures. They were a solid antagonistic force for the heroes on the first first episode to give them a just get introduce us to the setting, introduce Pomni to everything. The guy who got Pomni and Kinger into hell, uh, A tier villain, really stuck to the trope of, your follow. Honestly, it was a Bioshock. They did a Bioshock. We're getting these records from this guy we think is on our side. We're listening to him. We're following in his footsteps. We're trying to do everything right, and it turns out he's a lying sack. And it turns out he we end up shooting an actual angel and get ourselves sent to hell because of that. Now, who knows what would have happened when the angel reached Kinger and Pomni? Maybe it would have just saved them. Honestly, that would have been cool to know what the plan was there for them not shooting the angel, but we'll never know. But A tier villain, A tier driving factor to progress the episode. Cool design. I liked the angel's design. Pretty sick. Okay, we're rounding alligator. S for existential dread. We all know that starts with S. He it's the first episode. I think it's the first episode where Pomni is, vibing, starting to think maybe things will be all right. I'm bringing this NPC back. Clearly, he's in a similar situation to us. He's in almost a mirror situation to us. You know, us being Pomni and the rest of the group. They're real humans. They got their brains hijacked. They can't remember their names, and now they're in these cartoonish bodies. He is a cartoon creature who has just realized that there is a definitive reality and a definitive unreality, and he is in the unreality. He is a creature of the unreality, and before he's vaporized, he has a little bit of a coming out of the cage moment where it seems like maybe he's gonna join the crew. Maybe there's gonna be more to him, and then boop, gone. The moon, just a vibe. She just made things a-okay for the group. It sucks that because everybody was happy stargazing, Kane decided to lose his mind. But hey, shit happens. The sun. I'm actually a little bit sad because the shrimp isn't here in this list, but I am going to give the sun a B. Sun, kind of chaotic creature. You don't know what it's gonna do. It hates Pomni. It doesn't hate Pomni. Shrimp is talking to Pomni. Sun, Pomni turns around, sees Abel, turns back around. Sun turns shrimp into fried shrimp. Delicious breaded fried shrimp. So, all in all, good character. All in all, just a total Chad. Evil Kinger. Uh, C tier. Didn't really do anything for his team and was kind of just Kinger. He was kind of just Kinger. Like he was yelling, but Kinger was also yelling, and he just looked meaner. But to be honest, he was just kind of acting like Kinger. Evil Ragatha. F tier. Did not like her. I guess I should say this tier list is basically just based on who I liked and who I didn't. She was evil Ragatha. What's there to say? I'll get more into it when I start talking about Ragatha, to be honest. Evil Pomni was kind of just Pomni, when Pomni was acting cringe and she did her whole entire her whole entire thing with Jax, like the oh we're getting to know each, oh my gosh we're gonna be buddies. She's kind of just like Pomni when Pomni was doing that with Jax. Uh Also, you know what? C tier, fucking ate that ball that Ragatha hit. Like just that thing. She wasn't even paying attention. She just stood up, saw it, split second, boop, got it. Solid softball player. Now we're on to the main cast. And I was, because I learned one of my coworkers. Oh, this is Evil Jax. Never mind. Evil Jax. I don't know. I thought he was kind of cool. I kind of liked Evil Jax. He seemed nice, if a little. How do you say it? Not submissive. He seemed a little shy. There we go. Okay. I was going to save Pomni and Jax for last because my buddy was like, "Oh, it's confirmed that they're the main characters," and it's like I knew Pomni was the main character. Honestly, I feel like all of this crew here are all the main characters. You can have a group as a main, kind of like the Good Place, where like the blonde chick's the main character, but like everyone's the main character. But to be honest, to me it makes more sense to have Pomni and Kinger as my last two things that I talk about. That's what I'm gonna do. Uh, Bubble. What's there not to love about Bubble? Um, B or A? B or A? I'm gonna give it A tier. Because clearly there's more going on with Bubble than meets the eye. And like I said, I've seen some people like fan made videos, Instagram shit about this show before I ever saw it. And there's a theory that, Bubble is able. I think uh I'm gonna soul read this and Bubble is maybe not able. People are calling the blue AI the second generation AI that was actually functional able, because Kane calls himself Kane, but I think Kane said that he named himself, so who knows what the AI actually was called. We'll just call it Able for now, or Blue Kane. Blue Kane. Bubble is Blue Kane. Um, and people give all these facts and logic for why Bubble might be Blue Kane. When Kane's losing his mind, Bubble's like, "Oh, you're useless. You're the inferior one." Blah blah blah. In episode 6, 5, one of them, Bubble puts his tongue on a leak to block it because Kane tells him to. And then later, Kane sticks out his tongue, and it's Bubble's tongue. It goes back into Bubble's mouth and comes out Kane's mouth. So clearly, two interconnected beings. Case closed. Bubble is Blue Kane. Also, I kind of liked him fucking with Kane's head when Kane was losing his mind. That was pretty cool. Kane is an S tier villain. He has done he's really good at being evil, being insane, and tricking the people into thinking he cares, and then pulling all that away. Like you want a sympathetic villain because then it makes the heroes want to sympathize with him, and then you realize, oh no, he's still bad. He's still really shitty. He might have some sympathetic qualities, but that does not make a good person or AI. Gangle. Gangle is a kind of a sweetie pie, to be honest. She, I feel bad for her a lot of the time because of Jax. Uh, even though she's clearly an adult because after high school she went to community college, dropped out, had a job, but like it just it feels like a child is being bullied even though they're not a child. And you know out of all the characters, other than when Gangle put on the mask, and to be honest, with how Kane fucked with their heads, it's very probable that these masks are heavily influencing Gangle's personality. Uh, she's not really mean to anybody. She's nice. She's sweet. She had one breakdown. It's because she got a mask that was evil and manic. Um, but all in all, I like her. I like her. I wish the best for her. I wish Jax would leave her alone. Zubul? Zubul. Zubul. So, Zubul is like Jax. If if Jax was only cynical to a degree that it affected himself and nobody else. But Jax isn't like that. Jax lets his cynicism and his self-hatred leak out into how he interacts with others. Zubul is overall nice to everybody else, and for the most part does not let their problems um, bleed into their interactions with other people. And overall, quality character. Also, yeah, never mind. Ragatha. Okay, there's there's probably a lot to say about Ragatha, but what am I doing? Okay, Ragatha, best girl right now. Ragatha. She clearly has her hidden meanness. She has something inside of her core, where she is sometimes being fake. And I say sometimes because I think she genuinely is a nice person who wants to be nice and wants to make life easier for everybody. And I think that stems from her need to be liked. She has, she was apparently never good enough for her mother. Always looked down on, always shat on by her mother. And when Kane was really losing it and was torturing them, it was very possible that her mother was bad to all of her and her siblings. It seemed like she may have had siblings based on like the kitchen table and all the dead mannequins and then knives being thrown at Ragatha. She's a farm girl, tomboy. Uh, I'm mostly reading into her being a tomboy from her love for softball and her being a farm girl. And like it's kind of like that heroic quality of, maybe not heroic, but it's an admirable quality that even though you feel like shit and you want to be negative, you want to be throwing a fuss and causing problems for other people, and you have these issues with other people that you hold in your heart, you're trying to keep things positive. You're trying to be good. You're trying to hold everything together because it's the right thing to do. So, anyways, yeah, love Ragatha. Awesome. Um, I, w- I was going to keep it just to this tier, but after having a talk with somebody and the fact that things did not pan out the way they said it was going to, new tier for Jax. New tier for this guy. What do we want to name it? Unredeemed. I'm going to tell you why it's unredeemed. Why he is unredeemed. So I had watched 5 or 6 episodes, and I called my coworker to let him know that I was sick and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it in, and I was asking who was going to be covering for me if that were to be the case. And I was telling him how I felt about each of these characters. I was like, love Ragatha so far. Love Gangle, love Zubul, and I was like, I really hate Jax, because Jax is like an edgy teenager. He's clearly an adult. All these people are adults, except he's just a piece of shit teenager, and he's like me when I was a teenager, and I know that I was a piece of shit and annoying, and my buddy was like, yo, just wait until you see the last episode that's out right now, episode 8. Everything's gonna be explained. First of all, there are inferences I can make on why Jax acts the way he does based on episode 7 and maybe 8. But to be honest, having a reason for being a piece of shit doesn't change the fact that you're a fucking piece of shit. Like, okay, he might have reasons for being the way he is. It's very likely that he thinks that acting the way he is going to stop him from abstracting. But what he's really doing is, first of all, alienating himself from everybody, which is making him want to abstract, which is making him abstract, clearly. But making things miserable for everybody else is also going to push them into abstraction. So I think he's going to be redeemed. You can already see he's cracking, and he may have fully cracked. Sometimes we interpret more of the art than the artist intended, but with that one scene of his rabbit parts being ripped off, and he's just that yellow thing under all of it, I don't think that's actually what he is. That's probably just a thing, but in my head, that's like, his mask is slipping. He's it's all unraveling around him, and we're gonna see the real Jack soon, and I have a feeling in my head he's going to move higher up on this list. But at this point, he's unredeemed. He's a sack of shit. I do not like him. Pomni, Pomni. Kind of had similar feelings for Pomni at first, but uh, but I'm gonna search something to show you guys. So not only have I grown to like her, but very clearly she is following the writing trope of all time that basically every character follows. If I can pull it up. Okay. She is following the hero's journey 100%. Call to adventure. She popped up in the story. She popped up in the amazing digital circus. And in the first episode, she's freaking out. She's going into psychosis. She watches Ragatha get attacked by an abstract and start losing her form. And she refuses. She runs away. And she continues basically being a coward and running from everything until the haunted house. And her and Kinger fall into hell together. And in the darkness, Kinger regains his clarity and he coaches her through it, and he becomes a mentor for her. He he shows his wisdom, a wisdom she had not seen before, beyond the insane facade that Kinger is wearing. So her and Kinger, I wouldn't say they crossed the threshold. I say when she crossed the threshold is when she and Jax started to bond. And she's accepting this world now. She's accepting her place in it. She's accepting that she is going to have to play her role. And then they had the test. Jax blowing up on her. Kane doing the whole entire fake escape story with Abel. All of them are being tested. She's learning who her allies truly are when put under stress, and she knows who her enemies are. She is approaching the challenge. She is willing to face the challenge. And she asked her allies to distract the enemy so she could get the computer for for Kinger. And now, the ordeal. Seemingly, Kane is dead due to their actions. And, the hero's journey, it's not linear. Like, you can go back steps. So, seeing as episode 9 is a possible just ending to a season 1, it's possible that we go back from the ordeal, but right now they have reached the ordeal. They have seemingly killed Kane. And they killed Kane because they were attempting to get their reward, which is the road back. Their reward is the road back. They want to go home. They want to end the adventure. But that's where we're left off. We're left off at the ordeal. And, Pomni had the change in character that I hope to see in Jax, not Finger. S tier character, she follows the hero's journey perfectly, and she is trying her best. Kinger, what's there not to say about Kinger? Unstoppable force, lovable goof, the mentor to the hero, the man who has it all. The he plays the mentor almost like an old hero, like somebody who has done the hero's journey, has experienced his loss. He lost his wife, we think, and he has held out longer than anybody else, other than Scratch, maybe. But through it all, he's still there. He's still there. He's still chugging, and he's something to aspire by. Honestly, I just really like him. He rolls with the punches. He never seems to let anything get him down. None of the failures, none of the successes. Even when he is like, whether he's insane or stable, he seems to just keep going. This man, like, he has all of the reasons Jax does, and then some, to be a piece of shit like Jax. But he isn't. And he doesn't. And he's just a good guy. He's not just a good guy. He's not just a good guy at all. You know what he is? He's a king. He's a king. So anyway, that's my character tier list. I hope you guys agree and enjoy my tier list. I'm gonna go blow my nose. Love you. Bye.